I'm going to share with you 3 advanced tactics to activate your feminine energy and keep a man pursuing you in his masculine energy that you won't find anywhere else. So last week, I shared some really simple but super powerful tips on what to do to activate your feminine energy to attract men very quickly. And I realized there's a lot more to that, and I wanted to make a separate video covering some more advanced tactics on how to stay in your feminine energy and really get that guy pursuing in his masculine energy. There are things you can do to pour gasoline on the fire. Okay. All right. So first thing, if you haven't watched that first video, I highly recommend you go watch the first video. It talks about some very, very important things that you need to be doing, as well as the things I'll be covering in this video. So one of the things I'm going to just quickly recap from that first video is the importance of getting into flow with the other person. That means in the first 5 minutes of your interaction with him, you want to match his energy, match whatever he is doing. So that means if he is leaning forward, you lean forward. If he is on his phone, swiping away on his phone or checking his phone, you pull your phone out, look at your phone as well. Okay, if he's taking a sip of his drink, you also take a sip of your drink. Whatever you need to do, just match whatever he is doing, energy-wise, match him. About 5-10 minutes in, now you want to do an influence test. Purpose of this test is to check whether you're in flow or not. If you're in flow, that means he's under your influence. He's under your magnetism. And it's really important you do this check and make sure he is following you and under the influence, all right? Because nothing else will matter. About 5-10 minutes in, you're going to deliberately break rapport and do something different. So for example, let's say he's leaning back in his chair, you're leaning back in your chair. What you want to do now is lean forward. And then you want to watch. Does he mirror you? Does he lean forward after a couple of seconds? You go grab your drink, you drink it first, and then watch, does he mirror you? Does he grab his drink? If you ask him a question, does he then ask you a question back? Super important. What you're doing here is you're just checking whether you're actually in flow, because when 2 people are matching in energy, they're matching in rapport, and there's a connection there, they will naturally do this. They will naturally mirror each other. If he doesn't match you, let's say you lean forward and he stays leaning back, okay, or you ask him a question, but then he never asks you a question back. That means you're not on the same page. It's very important you know when someone is not under your influence, so then you don't waste your time. So at that point, best thing I would tell you is just get out of there. You don't have rapport, you don't have a connection, don't waste any more of your time. Just, make up some excuse. Oh, I gotta go. My sister's calling you. This is an emergency. You have an appointment. Gotta get out. I gotta go now. Do not stay in there. Now, let's say he passes that test. Because he is under your influence, subconsciously now you want to start deploying further feminine energy triggers to trigger him more into his masculine energy. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to lean back and you let conversations die on purpose. So you allow space and silence to be there. You want to watch him and see what he does. Does he lean forward? Does he then start asking you questions and coming up with things to fill that silence? What you're doing is you need to lean back to see who is he, like how interested is he, okay? It's not enough just to be in flow with someone. You need to know how interested are they. You're checking for masculine and feminine polarity, the spark, the attraction that is there. What you want to see is he is leaning forward, leaning in, asking the questions, initiating the conversations 80% of the time, okay? And you're leaning back 80% of the time. That's the ratio that you need to be looking for. If it is more 50-50, you have a friendship. And there's nothing wrong with friendship, But just know that this is what women do with women, right? We ask a question and then expect our friends to ask us the question back. Or when we share something about ourselves, we expect our friend to share something about themselves. It's very reciprocal, 50-50 balanced. Okay, that's a friendship. But that is not the masculine and feminine way. That does not create any spark or attraction. So if it's 50-50, you want to lean back more. You need to do less. When you do less, there's more space, more gap, right, between you. So now he needs to do more to complement that gap, to fill up that space. You need to see, what does he do when you lean back, when you do less? And you cannot get there by being 50-50, right? You cannot know how interested a man truly is if you're doing 50-50. Here's the thing too, you're not going to trigger his masculine instinct to pursue and work for you and put effort in if you're doing 50-50. There's just no room for it. So you have to create the room. You have to create the space by doing less. So let's say you're doing less. What he will experience now is he feels more discomfort because he can see, oh, there's more silence. This is awkward. Now he has to step up. Now he has to ask more questions, more interesting questions, more creative questions, or say more interesting things. Now he has to try to impress you, make you laugh. Your vibe is, I'm not sure about you yet. I'm not sold yet. Let's pour some gasoline on this fire because it gets even more crazy than that. What do? How do we keep him pursuing? Keep him in that chase? Keep him interested? Delay gratification. You increase his desire and his perception of your value, how valuable you are. Follow the 80-20 rule. You give him 1/4 of what he wants, right? You never satisfy him completely. Always leave him wanting more. What does that look like? He asks you a question about yourself. You give him a taste. You give him a teaser, a trailer version, not the movie. If he asks for a photo of you, give him a picture of your hand. Don't ever want to fulfill his request completely. Here is another super tip. Always end the date first. Maximum, I would say, is 2 hours, right? And the most optimal time to end it is when you can tell he's super into you, he's really interested in you, he's asking a lot of questions and commenting, and you're in flow and the conversation is going really well. That's when you want to end it. You never want to get to the point where you feel like, oh, now the conversation's kind of dying. Now you're running out of things to talk about. Then you've reached you've overstayed your welcome. So you never want to get to that point. You want to get to the point just before it, when he's still wanting to talk more and more. That's when you say, I gotta go. I love to stay. I've gotta go. I have an appointment to go to. I have to meet my sister, right? Leave him wanting more, always. So now he's gonna be like, well, if I want to find out the end of that story, I better ask her out on another date. Okay, if I want to get to know her more, I better ask her out on another date. And you can even tease him a little bit if things are going really well. You could say, oh, I'll have to tell you next time, right? Maybe next time I'll tell you, right? Tease him a little bit. Only if you have rapport though, only if you're in flow. That is how you make a man pursue you and guarantee you get a second date. Okay, that's it. If you liked this video, please like me, leave me some comments and feedback below. And if you like more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and I'll be back real soon.